I'ma fuck up my life. I'ma fuck up my life. We gon' party all night. She don't care if I die.
Hey guys, SpongeBob here, back here with another video, and today I will be reviewing the Road to Redemption series. And not to sound like a douche or anything, Chris, I've just been hearing a lot about it, and I wanted to review it. I wanted to, look at the whole series and review it. This is going to be the first episode, 106, because there are 6 whole seasons, probably even 8 videos, because, there is the reboot of it, and yeah, so I'm going to try and, do the first season all right here in this first episode. So I'm going to try and go really fast, and Chris, you can review this, and you can make sure that I did everything was right, because I know you might or might not be hyped for this. I told you last night, and just to let you know that I didn't want to sound like a douche when I did this video, because I know it is your series and Red series, so I just wanted to let you know. But, so the first episode is an introduction to our main characters, Chris and Carl. Now, this is just a normal introduction, and then we get told about this guy named Rockwell who used to get killed, and supposedly this guy is Rockwell. So, they go after him, they kill his henchmen, and, they try and find him, and, they kill him, supposedly him. But in the second episode, it's the episode after. They celebrate, and they head to Rose to get a drink. Now, in the second episode, it's just weird and everything, so they go down to Rhodes, and, they go down to Rhodes, they try to celebrate, but they meet a man, and since they were all lonely, they wanted to, make friends. So they try to make friends with him, and they freaking were like, we're lonely, we're the double gang banger, because that's their supposed name for them, and, they are, trying to make friends, but, they say their dad's name, and, supposedly, this guy's name was that name, and, he has the family scar, so they think it's their dad, so they follow him, they basically beat up their own dad, and, in that episode, they're at his house, and they follow him back, and, they get into a fight, almost die, and right there, in the second episode, stuff happens, and guess what? Supposedly, Chris dies. He gets stabbed, but in the third episode, right after that, Chris is back to life. Supposedly, episode 2 never happened to Chris, but Chris has gone mad, or, Carl has gone mad. While watching this episode, I didn't know who was going mad. I didn't know who to trust. That's what I like about, this season. Chris, you did an amazing job on this season. The first season, it was so cool. In the third season, basically, in this third episode, they're just all, fighting and everything. They don't know if, Chris is, dead or alive. So they don't know, basically. And the whole time they're fighting, and they meet up in Annesburg. Well, Carl takes Chris to Annesburg, and, the old coal mine, and they have a fight, and let me just, oh, bless you, thank God. Whew. But then, Carl kills Chris. And after this, in episode 4, let me make sure. Yes, so in episode 4, a man named Michael and John meet up, and basically, what happened was, the whole time, John was telling Michael a story that was, when I first watched it, it was insane. I thought that was so cool. How they changed it into like a story, and how they had that much legacy, and it turned in, and I didn't expect that to happen. Like, that was so cool to me, and it was so like dramatic, and it was so cool. And so basically from there on, Michael and so supposedly Chris and Carl are their grandfathers. They're like, elders. And so they want to make them proud, but since they need money, they know their grandfathers wouldn't appreciate with this, but they have to kill innocent people for like money. And Michael gets like a thrill out of this. He kills a lawman, and he doesn't, take it. He takes it as an enjoyment, And the whole time, they're like, yo, let's go celebrate. But something weird happens with John. John becomes starting to go mad, just like Chris did. But like I said, you don't ever know, if who's going mad or what. Now, here's a part that just didn't make sense to me. So, supposedly, they go up to this place after celebrating, and they get into a fight. They get into a fight, and, Michael gets stabbed and then left by John. John goes to the saloon and gets a drink. But at the end of the episode, you see Michael come back and say, John, and then the episode cuts off right there. Now, that was an amazing episode. Boom. Started it off right there to when I thought, yo, this is going to be a great RP. And remember, I watched all this last night, and I was like, oh my god. And so episode 5 takes place right after that. So supposedly, this doesn't make sense to me. Michael stayed there to have a drink, and this whole time, they were basically just play fighting. Now, I don't know, so now Michael stayed back to have a drink and just think about what happened. And then John was like, he goes to Carl. Carl being still alive from the first 3 episodes is insane. They got brung back as the higher ups, and John wants to make a legacy. And John and Michael are brothers. Supposedly, they are Carl's son. So Carl is like, so you want to make a legacy like me? So supposedly they aren't grandfathers. They are, brothers and sons of Carl, who made his legacy. Well, not his legacy. Well, yeah, his legacy with Chris, but ended up having to kill him because of the madness in both of them. So it was so cool to see how they just randomly brought him back. And, the whole time they're chasing Michael, trying to kill him to make their legacy, end. But it ends up that John actually kills Carl. Ends up killing Carl, their father. And Michael does not take this so well. So Michael kills John, and it just ends right there. After killing him, it goes to episode 6. Episode 6, I'm pretty sure, is the first episode of the origin. Now, the origin, I'm going to make sure real fast. The origin being before, this being the origin before Road to Redemption. Now, the man who was killed was Rockwell. Now, the origin takes place before RDR, Road to Redemption. Now, this was sick to me because they go back with a man named Rockwell and Frank. Chris Rockwell and Frank. A man named Chris Rockwell. And if you don't know, in the first episode, Rockwell gets killed. Chris Rockwell was killed by Carl and Chris. That is just so cool how they did this. Like, that's something that movies nowadays can't even do. So they do this, and the whole thing, they meet this guy named Patrick, and the whole time, they just go over land. They're, trying to, combat with each other, and the whole episode is just so cool to me, because right after this, right after the first episode, it goes deeper into the origin, about like a couple years, because Patrick went off somewhere else, and basically Rockwell has become lonely and is part of a gang now. Him not being, I'm guessing, the full gang leader yet. Not killing the father yet. And basically, he does some work for this man to find the whereabouts of his daughter and wife. And it ends up being that I'm pretty sure that this was after Road to Redemption. This episode takes place after Road to Redemption. It is basically Rockwell at his fullest. So he doesn't get killed by Chris and Carl. That was a phony. Because he knew that they were going to try and get revenge. So that was actually phony. And he actually gets killed by a man who, because he was trying to find the whereabouts of his daughter and wife. Which was just so cool, because it made everything else that I thought just get completely jumbled up. Like, this season was just so cool. And the breakout, I don't think I have to talk about this, but it's about two escapists who are on the run from cops. And I didn't fully watch it because it's not really tied to Road to Redemption. It is not fully tied whatsoever. It's, just two escapists who are on the run from cops. And they are on a massive journey, just shooting and killing. And then Breakout 2 comes out. It's basically the same people, and they just beat each other up. Now, I didn't feel like watching this at the time. It wasn't even connected. The origin was definitely connected to Road to Redemption, but not this. But I think this RP, to me right now, has limited potential. No, it has unlimited. Because when I watched this, I was freaking crying. My tears were, draining out because, the amount of possibilities with this RP is unlimited. Because I did not expect, because I heard so much from this RP. So I gave it a watch, and I was so stoked when I first found it, dude. I was beyond belief. It was insane how good this RP turned out. This RP was better probably than any RP I've ever seen. It had story. It had good characters. And the way some of them died was just plain out sad. Carl. He died by his own son. But then Michael now being a lone wolf because he had to kill his own brother. Just like Carl had to. And now I want to see, I think Michael was the person who actually killed Rockwell. Because they have the same haircut and everything. And I'm pretty sure in season 2, they keep on going with Michael until he dies. But let me tell you, the split, I watched that, and it was just ominous. It was pretty drastic. The fight scenes were all good in there, and it was basically like a Road to Redemption episode. After watching all these episodes, so far, I'm giving season 1, a 9 out of 10, most definitely, or a 9.5. Because of how good the season was. Some of the scenes were kind of bland and long, and they were talking a lot, just to make it, seem like it's a normal movie. But other than that, it was just amazing. I loved it. It was freaking just one of the best RPs I've ever seen. And I loved the whole thing. I loved it the full way. And Chris, if you do watch this, because I just did all of season 1, let me tell you, you made an amazing RP. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And basically, Chris, if you do watch this, watch the whole review. And you don't have to make a response video. Same with Red. I want you to watch this and, give your opinion on it in the comments. But I'll see you guys next time, and peace out. Goodbye.